We're going to go from here. We have about 9 minutes left in this presentation. I'd like someone to volunteer to identify 3 key words for you that if you were to put this into some metaphoric universe, you would be able to see this Googled with your name on it. Hi, Samantha. Would you come on up? You were the first, so you might as well be the first to do this. What 3 key words, your name again?
Saha.
Saha, are those that match your essence of who you truly are before you even open your mouth that people get.
Okay. Empowerment.
I'm empowering.
I'm empowering. I'm an advocate.
I'm an advocate, yep.
And I help.
Good. So you notice the 3 hand gestures were exactly the same for each one. If we can shift them so that each one has a movement and gesture that matches each simple statement, then you can use that same series of movement patterns to be able to have people get your essence and, just like Ken in that story I just gave you, draw to you even more people who understand your message and will act on it. So I'm going to ask you to say those words one at a time, and we are going to be active listeners. Stand up with me, and we're going to do exactly what Saha does. So Saha may say, what's the first expression?
Empowering.
I'm empowering. And whatever she does, you do back. She'll say, I'm empowering, and then you'll say, you're empowering. But do it with the same gestures so you get repeated 10 times back to you. Whatever you're doing comes multiplied back. The purpose of this exercise is to encode the new program, the new self-talk in the muscle memory, so this becomes your new mission statement. Okay? One at a time, and then we'll do one at a time. Go ahead. The first one.
I am empowering.
You are empowering.
I am helpful.
You are helpful.
I am an advocate.
You're an advocate. Good. And so if we were to shift that in any way, you would notice that each of the words, each of the expressions went so far and then you stopped. What would happen if the gestures went further and the sound traveled further? I'm empowering. So there's more of a feeling of the demonstration of in sound, in gesture, and in word. We'll do it one last time and notice the difference, everyone. Ready? Go.
I am empowering.
Right. You're empowering.
I am an advocate.
You're an advocate.
I am helpful.
You're helpful. Good. Not huge shifts, but enough that you could see there was a lot more presence, wasn't there? There was a lot more feeling of exactly what you're saying, empowerment, being an advocate, and being helpful. Thank you, Saha. Have a seat, everyone. I know we need to end this session very soon. I feel like we just got started. To each and every one of you here, if you could pick up at the very underneath you here, the papers, you'll see a feedback form. I'd appreciate you filling that out with your name, your email, your phone. And for each of you who've taken the time to get up early and come to the session today, I would be very happy to also give you and send to you, if I can read your writing, one of my best audios on presenting yourself with power and presence, and as well in one-to-one session with me, a half-an-hour session with me at my practice in St. Kilda to take you through these. Yeah.
Would someone like an Anthony Robbins do things like that if you watch him closely? Do all people do those same sort of...
Everybody's got their own style. He's got his own particular movement patterns that he goes through. Everybody's got their uniqueness. Me, I'm matching the verbal, vocal, visual. That's my thing. Everybody has their own approach to it.
But a lot of speakers will do this unconsciously because they've realised through experience that that's what gets the message across. So what works? And they just keep doing it unconsciously.
I'm happy to answer these questions after the session today, but right now I need to close up. They're great questions, and I'd love to take the time for each and every one of you. I'm going to be here throughout the day, so please feel free to connect with me. And at the same time, there's also another one of these flyers there on a workshop I'm offering on the Sunday, the 1st of May, 10 days from now. You're all invited to come to that as well, and that will be much more in-depth than this, taking you through your own personal hurdles. Everybody will have a turn. And for each of you that are a member, of course, of the Business Marketplace, there's an additional 20% discount that you receive with that. Gary's standing in front of me. I can see my cue to be pulled off the stage. I want to thank you before we finish one word from each one of you about what you got out of the session today.
Tone.
Movements.
Completeness.
Effectiveness.
Gestures and
Expression.
Positioning, leave the congruency.
Awareness.
uniqueness.
Beautiful. Putting that all together, I want to finish with one key statement. Come up with me and say these words out loud after me. Sharing my humanity is my strength. My vulnerability is my strength. Sharing my caring is our strength. And that's where this session ends, and that's where this session begins. Thank you all for being such a great audience. Thank you, Gary.
Awesome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so that was amazing. What I'm going to ask you to do, probably the men, not being sexist, the ladies can help us, is bring those chairs back.
And turn in those papers, if you would, your feedback forms. Thank you.
Now allow me, then we're going to let the troops in. There's a lot of people outside. So I'm going to put songs